guardian angels? Watch this.
So would it be safe to say that angels are the equivalent of good to a demon?
I'll give you an example. Billy Graham tells a story. There was a true story of a missionary from Scotland who was in a South Pacific island. The local tribe got very upset that he was there to talk about Jesus, and they went to murder him and his family. And they came and surrounded his house. This mob is intent on killing us. And so they prayed all night, God protect us. And the mob by dawn dissipated and nothing happened. Well, the leader of that mob later became a Christian, and that missionary talked to him and said, "Hey, what happened that one night?" And he said, "Well, we couldn't do it with all those men you had guarding the house." He said, "What are you talking about? I didn't have any men guarding the house." He said, "No, we saw them. There were these men, they had swords that were drawn, and they surrounded your house, and we figured there's no way we can go in and attack these people in light of these guards around the house." Well, who are they? They were angels.
Do we have...
I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth. Jumping straight into the scriptures. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, because we hope for all the things and promises and the words of Yahweh, Yahushai, of the things to come, the future prophecies, mainly targeting the blessings, the kingdom of heaven, but the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because for the good to happen, bad has to come. Before there's peace, there has to be war. Look at King David, King Solomon. Verse 6. Jumping to verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him, which is Yahweh, through his son Yahushua. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So you have to constantly keep grinding at this, in this truth, and constantly elevate, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Verse 7, by faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, because Proverbs 1 and 7, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, which were Noah and his sons and their wives, which is only 8 souls, by the which he condemned the world by water. And that's the first step. The second step will be by fire, and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Because if you don't have faith, that's a sin. But only if you are an Israelite. So if you're a heathen, it doesn't matter. Second Kings chapter 6 verse 16. You can read the whole chapter, but going straight to the point. Verse 16, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, which is talking about his servant, that he may see. And the Lord opened his eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Because Elisha was the understudy of Elijah. Elijah prayed for Elisha and to receive spiritual powers, and Elisha could already see into the spirit realm in a sense. Verse 18, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness, and smote them. And he smote them, Salakia, with blindness according to the word of Elisha. So that's how powerful the relationship between Yahweh and Elisha was. Just like how powerful it's going to be in these latter days, that Yahweh is going to show his glory, his power, through his men, his elect men, the 144,000 elect men. You know, Elijah, I believe it was Elijah. I get them mixed up. Elisha, Elijah. I believe it was Elijah. No, Salakia, Elisha. During the famine of Samaria, that he was able to feed himself, Salakia himself, the woman, and the child, and also resurrected the child. And just to point out, in that story or that passage, the woman saw that she was being fed this whole time, and in a sense, you know, believed that this was a man of the Lord, but not until he actually resurrected. I believe it was her son, but resurrected her child. Then she said, "Oh, this must be a man of the Lord." So, just to point out, you know, these females are not going to believe until they see, and luckily, the Lord is going to have mercy on females because, you know, going into the word female, feminine or femina is minimum faith. So they don't have zero faith, because there's people that's saying that in these other camps, but their faith is so small that they have faith through their husband. They have faith through their husband that's really fearing the name, power of Yahweh, Yahushua. Verse. Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivers them. So let's best believe Elisha feared Yahweh for not only him to already see into the spirit realm, but his servant had to have some type of fear himself for Elisha to pray for him to see into the spirit realm, to boost his faith, you know. And that's what is going to happen again, like I said, in the latter days, but it's happening now. It's not that time for certain things to happen, because the Lord is very calculated and stands by his word of when something's going to happen for an appointed time and when something's not going to happen for an appointed time. But the Lord is still mysterious at the same time. So that being said, there's a reason why I brought out that clip, that short clip, you know, because let's say that was true. And you know, again, we're not into the Christianity thing. You know, they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. But overall, the Lord does show his works, even with you know, so-called people in the world. And you know, Lord willing, I can find the whole story or the actual video of the account, in a sense, of the person in the actual story, but I probably won't be able to. The fact of the matter is, I just use this video as an example that, you know, the Lord is real, and he's the Most High, the God of the Israelites, and he's going to show his works very soon, because things are ramping up in the world. Earthquakes, uproars of the people, volcano eruptions, knowledge shall increase, the perfection of the ballistic missiles or the ICBM missiles. You know, they have the space stations. So everything is falling into place. More talk of World War III. You're going to have faith in Yahweh Yahushua, because you're not going to be able to depend on Chat GPT or any AI or your cell phone in a day, because through the spirit, the power grid is going to be out, and you're going to only have to rely on what you have learned in this truth to hold fast onto, endure to the end, And Lord willing, the Lord keep you out of the hour of temptation, which is talking about the charagma, the MOTB. So, Lord willing, this was straight to the point and edifying. But oh yeah, just to add, look at Abraham, look at Noah, look at King David, look at all of our forefathers that had to go through great tests to prove themselves to the Heavenly Father Yahweh. How much more his reincarnated servants that fall right back into the same lot of being men in the Lord. So, like I said before, Lord willing, this is straight to the point and edifying and inspirational or motivation to stay locked in with Yahweh Yahushua, because we're on the winning team. It seems like we're losing, but trust me, we're on the winning team. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Barakadash, double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, Shalom, to the hopeful elect on the four corners of earth. Shalom.